Hey guys, this is going to be my September wrap-up and October TBR, where I go through the books that I read in September and tell you really briefly what I thought about them, and then go through some of the books that I hope to read in October. I actually read 11 books in September, which is incredibly impressive considering it was the first full month of school. Don't exactly know how I managed to do that because I have been crazy busy with school, but some of these books were for school, so they were read for school, which explains some of it, but then also reading and writing were like the only two things really that I feel like I did the entire month aside from school, because they were kind of like the way I was de-stressing, if I even was de-stressing. So yeah, that also accounts for how I managed to read 11 a little bit, but still I'm very impressed. That's more books than I read any month of the summer. So I don't know how I managed to do that, but I'm going to go through each of them. Oh, and also I don't have most of them with me because I went home last weekend for my cousin's wedding, and I took all the books I had read up to that point home with me, so I don't have any of those. I only have, I think, one book with me aside from the ones that are like on my Kindle. I only have one of the books that I finished this month actually here. First book that I finished this month was The Order by A.C. Donauer. And I kind of lied just now because I just remembered as I said that I didn't finish that book. I got just over halfway. I think I got like somewhere between 55 and 60% of the way done with it before I abandoned it because I tried really, really hard. I realized pretty early on that I wasn't going to like it. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars, by the way. I don't think I said that, but it was terrible. I posted a review where I talked about it, so I'm not going to go into it now, but just absolutely hated that book, tried really hard, had a lot of things that I didn't agree with in it that really bothered me, but like I said, I talked about that in my review on my blog. And then I read Peeps by Scott Westerfeld, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It was the first vampire book I'd read in a really long time. I really like how it was unique and different in the fact that the vampires have like a parasite, so it's like a disease, and that was really interesting. And then also on my Kindle I read Beauty and the Beast by Jenny James, which I gave 2 out of 5 stars. It was not the best Beauty and the Beast adaptation I've read. I probably wouldn't recommend it. There are better things out there. And also on my Kindle I read SEO 2015 by Adam Clark, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad. It was really short, and all of it was information that I think you can find easily on blogs and whatnot for free, and so I don't really think it's worth paying for the book. I read Neutrino Hunters by Ray, I'm gonna butcher the last name, I know, Jayawardena, I think might be how you say it. I'm really sorry about that, but I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. That was a very interesting book. I really enjoyed it. It's about like the scientific discovery of neutrinos and how they work and things, and it was really, really interesting. And then I read Unfair, the New Science of Criminal Injustice by Adam Benforado. That was on my Kindle, and I loved that book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like it's something everyone should read. I like pretty much ranted about that in my review about how much I love this book, but it was probably the best thing I read all month, and it really is something I feel like everyone should read. Then I finished Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire for my Harry Potter reread, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, not really anything new to say about it. And then I read Legacy of Wisdom by Gabrielle V. Taylor, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars. I just didn't get much out of that book. It wasn't a bad book, but I just don't feel like I got much of anything from it. And then I read For School, and I do actually have this book, but I didn't get it, and it's buried in my like wardrobe thing, so I'm not going to pull it out, but it is Deuteronomy Interpretation, a Bible Commentary for Teaching by Patrick D. Miller Jr., which was for my Old Testament class. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It had a lot of information in it. It had a lot of detailed information, which is good, but I didn't necessarily enjoy reading it. So yeah, on my Kindle I read First Bite by B. Wilson, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. It's basically, I haven't reviewed this yet. This is the first one. I have 2 more books that I read this month and I haven't reviewed either of these yet. That's going to happen in the next few days, hopefully. But I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars, and it's about kind of how people learn to eat, how nutrition and your kind of taste, what food you like, is learned, and how that kind of works and things like that. And it was very, very interesting. I learned so much from that book, and I find it to be a really interesting topic, and I just thought it was really, really great. The last book that I finished this month, I actually only finished yesterday on September 30th, and it's the only physical book that I finished that I still have. It's Emma, a Modern Retelling by Alexander McCall Smith. This is an ARC, so this isn't the cover or anything, it's just the ARC cover. So yeah, I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't like it that much. I'm gonna save what I didn't like about it mostly for the review, but basically when you're reading a modern retelling, I feel like the fact that it's modern should add something new to the story, but with this I forgot a lot of the times that it was modern. So now moving into the TBR, I'm currently reading 9 books. Most of those are for school. I'm only reading, I think, 3, well no, actually that's a lie, 4 books that aren't for school. So I'm going to talk about those as part of my TBR. First of all, I'm on Order of the Phoenix for my Harry Potter reread. I don't think I'm going to finish it this month, but I am reading that right now as part of my reread, and I am still reading the Heath Anthology of American Literature Volume C, which I'm pretty sure has been in at least 2 of these now, if not 3, but I am insanely close to being finished. I'm probably going to finish this today or tomorrow, so I'm really close to finally having this out of the way. On my Kindle, I'm reading Lumiere by Jacqueline Garlick, which is the first book in a series, and I almost didn't read it because I didn't want to start a new series, but it sounded interesting, so I did. I've read the first 2 chapters. It's really interesting. It's a fantasy. It takes place in a completely different world, but the people in that world seem to be Christian from what I've read so far. There was mention that one character was carrying a crucifix. They're persecuting accused witches, although it's not really clear if there actually are witches. There's definitely fantasy elements, but no one so far in the 2 chapters I've read is an actual witch. So it's interesting so far. It's also kind of steampunky, so it's interesting so far, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Last book that's not school related, although it is an old school book that I'm reading right now, is In the Middle by Nancy Atwell. Anyone who is an English teacher, I feel has probably heard of this. This comes up in all of my education classes that are focused in on English. Pretty much we always talk about this book. I've used it as a textbook in several classes and whatnot, but I'm reading it for myself. I'm only on chapter 2. I've only read chapter 1, and so I'm on chapter 2. You can see from tabs and everything I think I've read the vast majority of it through school, but not all of it, and not all the way through, so that's what I'm doing now. For the rest of the TBR, I'm just going to stick with 3 books that I haven't started yet. Hopefully I can do what I did in September and read a ton this month, but I'm not sure. I know there are several school books that I'm reading that I didn't mention that I'm definitely going to finish this month, but I'm just going to stick with 3 since I am already reading 4, and I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself to read more than I probably will, in case things get crazy busy again, although they're much calmer right now than they were like a week ago. So first of all, when I finish this volume of the Heath anthology, I'm going to start this anthology. Maybe I'll read this one quicker. I kind of doubt it. I feel like this is something I would kind of be reading for a while. But I do want to start this one as soon as I finish this one, which again will hopefully be within the next couple of days. And then I want to read Grace's Guide in the Art of Pretending to be a Grown-Up by Grace Helbig, because I watch Grace on YouTube. I bought this when it came out, haven't read it yet, and I really want to. And I think it'll be something that's quick to read, because I mean a lot of it is like this and things, so it shouldn't be like a heavy read. I feel like I should get through it pretty quickly. And then the last book that I'm going to actually put on my TBR, which is also kind of short and has crinkle pages, which is fun, but it's Madness Underneath by Maureen Johnson. This is the second book in the Shades of London series. Read the first one, I feel like at least a year ago. I think I read it at the beginning of last school year, so just over a year ago. And this feels like strangely short. I feel it's definitely shorter than the third book, which I have behind me. But The Name of the Star is the first one, and this is the new cover. They had like one cover for the old one, and then I feel like this one was only ever in this cover. So I have the original cover of the first one, and it doesn't match the second two. But I really love the purple, because that is my favorite color, and I really do like these covers. So yeah, this is a ghost book, which I don't usually read, but I actually really surprisingly liked the first one, so I'm really excited to see what happens in this one. So that's what I read this past month and what I'm planning to read this coming month, and I will see you guys later. Bye.